Chattanooga is like a 2-hour drive from Atlanta. So it could be a day trip, but it's perfect for a nice weekend trip. So today's video is my top 10 recommendations for Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is highly slept on. Chattanooga is like the perfect blend of small city plus naturey vibes, like mountain vibes. So I love that. Like that's the life I want to live. So a lot of these activities are like city based and then hiking slash nature based. Number 10 is Chalk Alley. Chalk Alley is an alley where you can like pretty much express yourself on the walls, on the ground. And what's amazing about it is when it rains, it washes away. So it's like a clear canvas, and then people come and express themselves again. It's been an area for artists since the 90s. It's a very significant spot in Chattanooga. If you're looking for it, because it is an alley and it's a little tucked away, it's on Fraser Avenue in the North Shore area. Number 9, Ruby Falls. So Ruby Falls is like a typical tourist first time in Chattanooga thing that you have to do. Very beautiful, however, it just wasn't what I was expecting. We had like a walking tour and the group was pretty big, and there's other groups on their walking tours as well, so having to like squeeze through each other in the caves was challenging. It was cool walking through the cave, and then we got to the waterfall and it was pretty. Number 8, whiskey tour at Chattanooga Whiskey. It's in the downtown area and I really liked it. It was pretty hot. I had my little fan, and while I was standing there listening to the presentation, the tour operator was like, I need one of those. I'm like, girl, yes you do. Okay. So yeah, I went because I love a good whiskey or brewery tour while I'm traveling, and I had just that. The tour wasn't expensive. I don't remember how much it was, but it also included like a whiskey tasting at the end of your tour. It was strong, but it's whiskey. So Stringer's Ridge hike. This is a hike that was near the Airbnb that I was staying in, so it's in more of a residential area. It was very nice, very relaxed, very safe, which is important because I had such a busy day and I still wanted to like go on a hike. So I think I got there at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and it was still pretty dark outside. So I called my mom, like, here's my location. I'm going to talk on the phone with you because in case something happens, you can hear me. But it ended up being fine. I only saw one other person on the trail and it was a girl running. So I felt safe. There was no issues. I just didn't get to do the whole hike because I had to head back to my reservation thing. Number 6, the Incline Railway. This is definitely a must when you're in Chattanooga. The Incline Railway there is the longest railway worldwide. At its steepest point, the grade is like 72.7%. So it gets very steep, and it's cool watching you like go backwards and away from the city of Chattanooga. It has a lot of history behind it. And at the top, you can take in views. There's different like viewpoints. There's a lot of places where you can take pictures. And then there's a little shop that has like sweets and stuff. But there's not much that you can do once you get up there. It's kind of more just like experiencing going up and then going down. Make sure you hold on to your ticket because you need it to get back down. And once you get back down, stop at Clumpy's Ice Cream for the best ice cream you'll have in your life. 5, Walnut Street Bridge. This is the bridge that you see. Like when people talk about Chattanooga, this is the bridge. I went twice. I went once at sunset, which was beautiful to see, and then I went once early in the day so I could get my pictures and stuff on the bridge. If you go in the morning, it's not that many people there, just like people walking their dogs or biking. Number 4, Rock City. Rock City was the first thing I did when I got to Chattanooga, and I loved it. So I got there right when it opened, and I pretty much had the whole entire place to myself. There were maybe 2 or 3 more families there when I got there, but they were nowhere near me. I couldn't hear anyone. It was very peaceful. It's such a beautiful and immersive place. It's got like a big bridge, and you get to see like a view where you're technically looking at 7 different states at once. Number 3. Now let's talk about Clumpy's ice cream. So good. I went to Chattanooga in September, and I'm recording this video in May. And I still think about Clumpies to this day. I'm already like an ice cream fiend. If it's snowing outside, if it's a winter storm, I will still want ice cream as a dessert because it's just amazing. So when I travel, I always have to try out like the popular ice cream places for that destination, and Clumpy's tops a lot of places. So good. They have a lot of like seasonal flavors, so you could just keep going back to Chattanooga and trying the different ones each season. To Renaissance Park / North Shore. So the area that I stayed in was the North Shore area. I prefer it over downtown because of the Renaissance Park, the Walnut Street Bridge. There's a lot of like food places. Like the North Shore area as a whole is just beautiful. Chalk Alley is there, so there's a lot to do there to where you don't have to drive somewhere. You could walk from your Airbnb over there. It's a very safe area. Lots of shops, lots of restaurants, lots of things to do. Number 1, the Lula Lake Land Trust. This was something I did on my first day in Chattanooga. I actually did it after Rock City. So it was maybe like a 20-minute drive from Rock City. You have to pay to go because they try to preserve the area and keep it clean and less busy and chaotic. Reserve your spot as you're like planning your trip. And then once you get there, you'll show the parking people, they'll help you park, show you the different routes you can take, and bada bing, bada boom. Me, I am not good at following directions. So every time I hike by myself and I don't get lost, I'm surprised. I didn't get lost, but I ended up taking the route that I did not want to take, which I did a reel on this before. I ended up taking like the adventure route, and with that, there's some parts where I had to use a rope to get back down. So it was a little intense, but I was like, look, I've made it to this point. I might as well keep pushing. And I'm glad I did it because it showed me that like I can do things even if I'm unsure about them. But the hike was beautiful, amazing views. I'm not going to say easy to follow because I got lost, but I give you a map, and it's also on all trails. They also give you a sticker. A lot of places that I've hiked to, I've got stickers from. And then the best part, of course, is the waterfall. You can walk over to the waterfall and, have a picnic, eat snacks. I always eat snacks when I'm hiking and when I get to a waterfall. It is a very steep to get down and very steep to come back up, but it's definitely worth it. If you go early in the day, there's not that many people there, but I have heard that it gets busy in the afternoon. Initially, I did the classic loop, but I ended up taking the wrong path and merged into the adventure trail, which was really 2 ropes, and the walking path got a little bit more narrower. So that was the only difference. These are my top 10 recommendations for Chattanooga. I highly recommend going. It's such a peaceful and beautiful place. I was able to do so much in such little time. So if Chattanooga, Tennessee is within driving distance for you, it would make for the perfect like weekend getaway or even a day trip to explore somewhere new. Stay tuned for next week.